Welcome to the Atlanta Realtors Rundown. This is the events episode. I'm your host, Neel Midha, and here today with President Chris Burell and Kelsey Anderson from FMLS. So normally we take advantage of this time to actually focus on the actual upcoming events. However, because we do have the Prez sitting here, I think it would be remiss of me if I didn't actually ask you some questions.
Sure.
So I hope that's okay.
Happy to answer whatever questions you have, Neel.
I was going to say, now we're live. It's difficult for you to say no.
That's right. That's right.
So we're halfway through the year, this year. How would you describe 2025 for ARA?
I think 2025 for ARA has been a great year for our organization. We've had outstanding events. We've had some sellout events throughout the first half of the year. Our members are engaged. We've been able to raise some money for a wonderful charity, over $30,000 for that charity. And so I feel like the first half of the year has been great for us as an organization, but I know our members have faced a very challenging market. And so we're really focused on what are those things that our members need from a knowledge standpoint and skill standpoint to focus on the rest of the year to continue to grow their business in this very challenging market.
That's great. And so are we going to see some of those things that you're planning in the second half of the year?
You will see some of those things. So our education committee continues to lay out the CEs for the rest of the year. You're going to see that Showcase this year is going to be focused on AI and how to incorporate that into your business. And so look for more content coming out that's going to be related to ideas and ways that you can really spark your business in the fall of 2025.
Perfect. And we're lucky to have Kelsey here to talk about Showcase.
Yes.
So we'll hold still. We're going to be coming to that. I'm not quite ready to let Chris off the hook quite yet. So in terms, can you give us like one highlight or accomplishment that we've had in 2025? I know you've mentioned a few,
Sure.
but is there another one that comes to mind, or one of those?
I mean, I think we've had a couple of really great major events. We had the RE Outlook this year in partnership with FMLS. We had a sellout audience for that.
Yeah, I heard.
And we got great information at the time on what the forecast was for 2025 based on that data in February. We had a wonderful Global Connect with our multicultural partners. That went over really well.
That was a lot of fun.
A full house.
Yeah.
And then we had top producers. We had a massive storm that was coming through that night, but we had one of the best top producer events that I've seen so far.
Right.
Over the 20 years. I think every year it just gets better and better. And so I was really pleased with that. And then our spring soiree, Spring Social, as many still know it as, we raised, like I said, over $30,000 for Hosea Helps, which is an organization that helps all of Metro Atlanta. And so really excited about that. We've had 2 major town hall meetings with local government officials, and so that's been a success both on the south side of town and one on the north side of town. We had lots of members able to participate in that. And the thing I've loved the most is that because we've spread out events all over town, we've had different members be able to attend based on the vicinity that they live or work close to those events. So we've engaged a lot of members.
And I know that that's always been a problem, right? Trying to figure out where to hold events, because
Correct.
It's so difficult trying to make everyone happy for it, right?
And Atlanta is traffic, right?
Exactly.
You know, we all live in
Can't
Metro
avoid it.
Atlanta.
Exactly.
So it's been really great for our committees to challenge themselves to really spread the love among our almost 13,000 members throughout Fulton County and parts of DeKalb County. And so really just my hat's off to all of our volunteers this year. They've done an amazing job.
And I like the fact with the forum, you know, the town halls, there was 2 different town halls, 2 different locations at different times of the day too.
That's right.
So it really was trying to maximize it as much
Absolutely.
as possible. I agree. I think it was a hit. So what would you say are your primary goals for the second half of the year? I know you touched on some of them.
Sure. Our, second half of the year, we're going to talk about Showcase.
Yes.
I would love to have a full house at Showcase.
We
It's
all
going
would.
to be an amazing event, and the topic is so relevant to all our business right now. And then the other thing that's really a major event in our fall is our chili cook-off, which raises money for us to invest in RPAC. And so really wanting to make sure we have a slam home run with our chili cook-off so that we can give our investment to RPAC. RPAC, as many of you know, is our lobbying arm. And we've been very fortunate this year to be engaged at the local level in a lot of city ordinance discussions that are going on, not just in Atlanta, but Roswell, Alpharetta, South Fulton. And so our RPAC needs your support, and we need your support at the state level. So, those funds are spread between several different levels of RPAC. So that is the other major thing that I really want to drive home to our members, that we have to have a voice about private property rights, and we have to protect and continue to protect our clients and our customers' right to own property and be able to use that property in the way that they would like to. And also to protect our members' right to do business as independent contractors.
Right.
There's been a lot of legislation at the federal and state level looking at, should realtors continue to be independent contractors or should they be employees? And we strongly believe and support the idea that it should be that we can be independent contractors and do the best job we can for our clients.
And I think that's really important, because I know a lot of people don't really understand what RPAC does, right? And a lot of it is behind the scenes. So I don't think we do a very good job of letting people know. So I'm glad that you mentioned some of those things.
Absolutely.
But I mean, there was some other legislation, I think, that we turned away about having realtors to have to pay to be able to operate in different jurisdictions.
Correct.
Too. And without RPAC support, we'd be doing that today.
That's right. Many jurisdictions over the years have brought forward ordinances or rules that they wanted to implement where they were taxing the income of a realtor. And so we have fought relentlessly over the years to ensure that, because we all work for brokerages, that the tax is at the brokerage level, not at the individual agent level. And so you're right on that. And it's something that continues to come up as cities and jurisdictions are looking for ways to have additional funding.
So if people want to know more about RPAC, I mean, I really do encourage everyone to do that. What's the best way for them to do that?
Best way for RPAC is jump on our website at atlantarealtors.com. You can go directly to RPAC and read more about it. And of course, we'll have more information coming up as we lead up to the chili cook-off as well about that event and when they can buy tickets.
Perfect. All right. So now we're going to get to the main event, the showcase, not the chili cook-off. The showcase. I may be slightly biased. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, yes.
But, just to talk about the history, right? So Showcase used to be called the Trade Show. And then all of a sudden there was a name change. What happened? Why was the name change?
I'm happy to jump in here.
Go ahead.
The last 20 plus years at ARA have been a delight to be a member of ARA. But over the years, what I can tell you is through history, FMLS really started the trade show many moons ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Moons ago. And then over time engaged ARA as a partner in that trade show. And for many years, it was a huge success. Attendance was amazing. We had a lot of great vendors at those shows, and we had wonderful presenters. And as we all know, there's no secret that, the COVID pandemic that came along
I don't seem to remember that.
2020, we've all tried to forget it, I believe, really forced us to move into a different format, because we couldn't have a trade show.
Right.
But we could still have the speakers. And that's what a lot of our members wanted. They wanted to hear the content from these speakers, even during the pandemic, because they could apply that knowledge to their business and could really grow their business through that. And so that kind of forced us to take a different look at it. And then right after the pandemic, we did have the trade show come back, but we just didn't have the attendance both from vendors having booths and from attendees.
Okay.
Our members were just not coming out to the event like they had in the past. And so, to the credit of our volunteers who are on that committee and FMLS and their volunteers who serve on that committee, we really went back to the drawing board over the last few years and said, what is it that our collective members would find most beneficial? And so the last 2 years, we have come together and had what we now call the showcase. And the showcase really is designed to showcase some of our vendors that are partners to both our organizations, but it's also designed to be a time for people to come together to collaborate, network, and hear some amazing speakers on a host of really key points that are prevalent and important for the moment in time in our business.
Right.
Definitely. I agree.
Perfect. And so can you talk a bit about the composition of the committee, right? Because it's not the standard makeup of a lot of the other committees. So.
Correct. So this committee is a very unique committee. So we have members from the FMLS staff that serve on this committee, and we have volunteers from our ARA side. So you, as the committee chair,
Right.
oversee that from the ARA side, and then from the FMLS side. So the co-chair is how we lead that committee. And then we have myself and our president-elect serve on that committee as well. So unlike a lot of our other committees that may just have volunteer members, we have some key members that sit on this committee since it's a joint effort.
Right.
The synergy, I think, has been incredible.
Incredible. Amazing.
Y'all have done an amazing job this year, and I just feel like everyone came together early on with this vision that, hey, we want to do something that our members will thoroughly enjoy and feel like it's added value to their afternoon.
Yeah, and I want to emphasize that. I mean, we really are looking for what we think the members want, and hopefully we've hit the mark on that.
Oh, yes.
We're going to know very soon.
Definitely.
So, Kelsey, the vision for the showcase. Tell everyone a bit about that.
So Showcase this year, our vision is City of the Future for Atlanta. And basically, we're trying to focus around topics that we think are going to benefit our members' business moving forward into the second half of the year that we've been talking about.
Right.
So we're focused on a lot of topics like the economics, all of the things that are happening there. We're also focused on urban development, what's coming to Atlanta, what's being developed, what can we expect from these new developments. And we're also focused on the big topic, the big buzzword, AI. What is AI going to do for the real estate industry? We've already been seeing it a lot in our products. I'm sure people are already using it every day. But how can we use it in our business, in your business, to make it more effective and efficient so that you guys are serving your clients as effectively as you can?
That's great. So when is it?
It is Thursday, August 21st at the Roxy at the Battery. It is being hosted from 12 o'clock until 4 o'clock p.m. We welcome you guys to come at 12 to enjoy some networking, buffet, as well as a bar. We'll have some vendors there as well, partners that we've talked about, some of the diamond level partners with the ARA, as well as some of our product partners. So it's a great time to then just really collaborate, as Chris was saying, with everyone.
And I think it's important to know. So we do have, we're trying to almost do like a hybrid of what the trade show was, as well as what, people want, right? So that's why we have a lot of the partners there. So people, who are new to the business can talk to attorneys and other companies out there too, and talk to some of the people about some of the products that they may need in their business too.
Oh, yeah. We'll have a lot of great products. We have, I believe, over 20 vendors that'll be there with us. They're all great. You guys are in for a treat. So I really recommend coming for that networking hour at the beginning. And then around 1 o'clock, we're going to begin our speaking portion, which is going to be really exciting. We have a great lineup for speakers.
And I think it's important to know that, we did listen to feedback that we received last year too.
Yes.
Because some of the feedback was that people wanted to have more vendors there. So we've tried to fit as many as we can.
We have made sure that we have as many as we can in that theater area and more in the lobby. You mentioned RPAC earlier, right. RPAC. They are also going to be joining us this year. So it's very exciting. We have more this year than we did last year. So it should be a great turnout.
All right. So how much is it for the event?
It's a $10 ticket. You can get your tickets in advance online through the ARA website under events. If you do not get your ticket in advance, you can still buy your ticket at the door. It'll be $15 at that time. Also running, we also have the ability to purchase the raffle tickets, which are also on the same link. I know we'll probably talk about that a little bit later, but we really encourage you to go ahead and pre-book, get that ticket in advance, just so that you can hold your spot.
Yeah. Who wants to spend $5 more, right?
Yeah.
Log on
That's
now.
right. We have all got to watch our pennies right now.
Exactly. I watch my waist and my pennies. So go and save the $5. But talking about the 50, the raffle, right? So Chris,
Yes.
It's a 50-50 raffle. Where's part of the money going to?
So the 50-50 raffle, part of that, the 50%, will actually go to our Atlanta Realtor Impact Foundation. And for those of you who may not be familiar with that part of our network, that is our charity foundation that has been set up in recent years to help our community, meaning our members. And so through that charity, we are able to, the last 3 years in a row, we've been able to give out scholarships to members, either children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, as long as they're an active member of ARA. Those individuals have received those scholarships, and we've gotten to meet some of them. It's amazing how many of them are already into their junior year this year of college. And then the other component that we handle through that organization right now is, from time to time, some of our members may find a hardship. Maybe they had a house fire, or maybe they had a severe illness that came along that they need to request some assistance. And so they can also do that throughout the year. We have several windows where they can ask for additional assistance due to those hardships that have come out of the blue, right? And this was a foundation. The idea came from members, and it was set up and established for members, and it is actually a nonprofit 501c3. So those donations are tax deductible. And so the 50-50 raffle is something we've done the last couple of years, and 50% of that has gone to the Impact Foundation. So I encourage you, get as many raffle tickets as possible.
Yes,
it's a great event. It's going to be a great raffle, and that 50% goes to an amazing cause that benefits all our members.
Yeah, and I think it's great. As you said, it's really for the members, right? And for people that really do need it.
Correct.
So if there is somebody who does need something from the Impact Foundation, how do they apply? What's the process for that?
Again, there is on our website, atlantarealtors.com. You can go to that website, and you can, through the website, go to the Impact Foundation. And there are instructions on how to submit if you're in a situation where you need to make that request. And it tells you the dates that foundation actually meets to review those requests. Not all of them are guaranteed.
Right.
But, they look at each one, and everything is kept confidential. And then for the scholarship component, you'll see that advertisement comes out early in the year, each year, to all members, for them to be able to share with their loved ones to make that application process. And then in May, we award those scholarships.
That's great.
Awesome foundation.
It is, right?
It's so
and
great.
again, that's why we're trying to do as much as we can with the showcase, right? For our members' education. So talking a bit about the education piece, right? So we have some speakers and some panels.
Yes. So I know the economy is on everyone's mind, and we actually will have our FMLS chief economist, Leslie Appleton Young, on as one of our speakers to speak towards the economy. If you're a member of FMLS and have seen her on the market intel emails that go out bi-weekly, she is very knowledgeable and has a good eye and understanding of the trends of the economy. And she's going to be giving us kind of a preview of where we're going to be going into the end of this year and what she predicts for the year to come. Another great thing that I'm really excited about speaker-wise is the AI panel. I know AI is such a hot topic right now, and everyone wants to know more about it. We've got a great panel lined up of not only product experts who know AI products really well, but also real members, real agents and brokers who are using AI right now in the industry and how they're using it effectively, how it's improving their business. And we're hoping that they'll be able to kind of share a little bit more with you to maybe calm any kind of nerves people might have about AI, but also kind of empower you to feel excited for what AI can do for you guys as independent business owners.
Yeah. And I want to emphasize that because we were trying to look for the panel to be a broad section,
Yes.
right? So we wanted to highlight a couple of products that were coming out that are using AI, because obviously our members are using that and may not be aware of that, but also how, you know, other people are using it and where they can use it and how they can use it too. So we wanted to make sure that we had like a split for that. So
I agree. Yeah, Neel did a great job pushing for it because I think we had a great balance right now between product and real life use. So we'll get a little bit of everything. And Neel and Chris did a great job coming up with some really impactful questions for these panels that I'm going to be sharing with them. And I think it's going to make it really, really impactful for all of us. It's really good, important questions that I think are on everyone's mind.
I would have to say, or I do have to say that AI was a smaller, okay, a larger system in coming up with those questions.
Got it incorporated a little bit.
We're not just talking the talk, we're walking the walk. But we also have talking about urban development too, right?
Yes, we do. We have, and I'm going to butcher her last name, but Dr. Eloisa will be coming and talking to us about urban development. She's actually got a really great understanding of urban development here in Atlanta and some really great projects I know that have been on all of our minds coming up here in the city. She's going to talk a little bit towards that. What can we expect? What does urban development look like in the future? And talking about some of the new things we're going to be seeing with the changes in some of these spaces. It's not just going to be residential and commercial, how we're going to see a mix of those spaces and things like that.
And that's really where the vision came from, right? Atlanta, city of the future. So that's why we want to be able to talk about the development, the AI piece and everything else. So now we've talked a lot about the event. If people need to register, right? So how do they do that?
Oh, yes, definitely. So you can go to the Atlanta Realtors website, and under the events, you can find the showcase. From there, there is a link to our Eventbrite where you can buy your ticket in advance for $10. You can also purchase your raffle tickets in advance if you'd like to go ahead and make that donation to the Impact Foundation and put your name in the raffle for the drawing of the prize. All of that can be found on the link. If you are on our FMLS marketing messaging and emails, we are sending out frequently, usually every 2 weeks, some information about that with a link to register there as well.
That's great. So I'd like to thank both of you for coming today. You know, I think we covered a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So I appreciate it. So remember, everyone, register. Sign up for the showcase. Please. It really is for you, and we'd also love feedback. As you heard, you know, we took your feedback from last year and tried to implement some of that. So we'd love to hear any more feedback. And also, if you haven't registered to the rundown, please make sure you do that. Just click on that button to make sure you don't miss out on any other updates and events, as well as hearing more from our president. Bye, y'all.